Hello, grade 6. How are you? Are you okay? I'm very good too. I'm very fantastic. Guys, I hope that you're staying safe from COVID-19. And what do you need to do? Puno, what do you need to do to stay away from Corona or to stay safe from COVID-19? Yeah? Wow, what do you need to do? Yeah, so what do we have to do? We have to wash our hands, yeah, and don't forget to put on your mask and also to keep social distance, okay? It's very important. Like I said before, I miss you so much and I hope to see you very soon, okay? So, welcome to grade 6 science, yeah. And I hope you went through your books for the last time and you were able to do your homework. Okay, so grade 6, welcome to science grade 6, and my name is Teacher Seda, like you know, Teacher Seda. Okay, so we will continue from where we stopped. Okay, so last time we talked about our nervous system, you remember? And we say that we can receive message from the surrounding and then to our brain, okay, through our nervous system. Our nervous system consists of the brain, the spinal cord, and the nerves are everywhere. And all these, they work in conjunction with our senses. We have 5 senses. We have the eyes, the nose, the tongue, the ears, and the skin or the hand, okay? So let's continue from where we stopped. Now, today we will talk about parts of messages in our nervous system. What are the parts of message in our nervous system? Now, we have 2 types of nerves in our nervous system, okay? And remember, I said nerves are everywhere and we get information through our senses and it goes to our nerves, then from the nerves it sends it to the spinal cord, and then from the spinal cord to the brain. Then the brain will compute all the information and then send it back to whatever, okay, the message is supposed to go to. So there are 2 types of nerves. We have the sensory nerves and the motor nerves. Motor is just like a car, right? So we have sensory nerves which sense, and then motor nerves which I think is all about movement, okay? So in your textbook, page 4, let's talk about the sensory nerves. Sensory nerves. So our sensory nerves, what do? They send and receive information coming from our senses to our brain. Like I said, when you get a bad smell or a very good smell, okay, it will go through your nose. Remember, your nose is one of the senses and we use it to smell. So when you smell, it will send the message to your brain through your nerves to the spinal cord and to the brain. Then the brain will compute the information. What is the smell? Is it food? If it is food, it will send the message right back to your mouth and your mouth will start salivating. And then to your hands too, like, yeah, you need to try it. So this is how our sensory nerves work. They send and receive information coming from our senses to our brain. Now, the brain helps to identify the things that, what can it identify? It can identify the things that we feel, what you feel, like, let's say you're touching a smooth surface, like this one here is a smooth surface, okay? What, the things you feel, the things you see, okay? The things you hear, the things you taste, and the things you smell. So remember, all these we use our 5 senses. What do we feel with? We feel with our skin or we feel with our hands. We see with our eyes, yeah. We hear with our ears. We taste with our tongues and we smell with our nose. So our brain will identify things we feel, things we see, things we hear, things we taste, and things we smell. So look at that picture. So humans respond to stimuli. Now humans use 5 sensory organs to respond to environment changes, which are as follows. Our nose, it will respond to smell, okay? Our eyes will respond to the light. Our ears will respond to the sound. Our skin will respond to touch, hotness, cold, pressure, and pain. Our tongue will respond to the taste. Okay, so what is a motor nerve or motor nerves? So our motor nerves send and receive message from the brain to get our body muscles to move. Remember, sensory nerves, they send the message to the brain, but our motor nerves, it sends message from the brain to our muscles. Okay, so look at this, sensory and motor nerves. Now, the sensory nerve tells spinal cord that flame is hot. These nerves, when the person put the hands over the fire like that, there are nerves on his hands, so it will send a message to the spinal cord that the fire is hot. Then what will happen? So that is the hand to feel, right? So it feels hot and then it sends the message to the brain. That is the sensory nerves. Then the spinal cord sends message through the motor nerves to move hands. So what will happen? The brain will compute the information and then will send the message right back through your spinal cord to your hand so that you can remove your hand because the flame is hot. So that is how our sensory and motor nerves work together. Now, what is the word stimulus? Now, in your textbook, page 5, what is the word stimulus? Now, stimulus can be in the form of things we see, feel, hear, or smell, okay? Now, our reaction to a situation is called a reflex action. Like when I say, ha! Aha! You see, you got excited, okay? So, that is what we call a reflex action. Now, we cannot control it, okay? So, some reflex actions, we cannot control them. Like this one here. A stimulus is a change in the environment that can be detected by a sense organ and brings about a response. So, what is the stimulus? The stimulus is the heat, okay? Now, the person tries to hold the pan. The pan is hot. So what do? They let go, okay? So that is the response. The stimulus is the heat. When you hold something that is hot, you cannot hold it any longer because it's hot. So you let go. So that is what we call the response, okay? Response. Now, look at the second example. The stimulus is the dirt or the bad smell. It's the stimulus. Now, how do you respond to that? You cover your nose because it's too smelly. So that is the response. I don't know if you understand this. Yeah. Or if there is a loud sound, okay, when the sound is so unpleasant, what will you do? You will tend to cover your ears. So that is the response. The stimulus will be the loud sound. The response will be to cover your ears. Let's talk about food, okay? When it's too spicy, what will you do? Or maybe let's say it's hot. You take it, you put it in your mouth. Now, the stimulus will be the hot food, okay? When you put it in your mouth, what will be your response? It's either you spit it out or you swallow. But swallowing is not a good thing. Maybe you just spit it out, okay? So that is how it works. And all that we say, they are reflex action. So still in your textbook, page 4 and 5, we will see about the knee-jerk reflex. So they say that you tap, okay? You just give it a tap here. So the tap is the stimulus on the knee, and it sends message to your nervous system. So the message responsible for the reflex goes through the spinal cord, okay? And to the brain, and then the brain will compute and then send the message right from the brain through the spinal cord and back to your leg. Now, what will happen is the motor nerves helps the muscle on your thigh to contract and your leg kicks forward. So that is how the knee jerk happens, okay? What happens is she will tap it a little bit, the knee, and then it will send a message through your nerves, to your spinal cord, to your brain, and then that is the sensory nerves. Then we have the motor nerves that will be sent from the brain through your spinal cord to your legs, that will make the leg to jerk. Okay, so that is how this one works, the reflex action for the knee tap. Okay, next, now in your textbook page 6, okay, common illnesses of the nervous system. Now here what I need you to do, I need you to read, okay, read the diseases or the diseases of the nervous system, and I need you to write how many? 1, 2, 3, 4. So here you write the name of the disease, the cause of the disease, and the symptoms. Symptoms. What are the symptoms of the disease? So you get a plain paper and you divide it into 3 rows, okay, and columns, and then you write the name of the disease here. Then you write the causes, what causes the disease, and then the symptoms. After reading page 6, okay, that will be your homework. Then we have how to take care of our nervous system. So care for our nervous system. What do we need to do? 1, have a balanced diet. Eat good food. Food rich with all the nutrients, okay? Especially potassium and calcium. And then number 2, cope with emotions. So stress and anxieties, anger ages our brain. So stay positive and get enough rest. You need to think positive. Think positive always, okay? Don't stress yourself out, and always have enough rest. It will help your nervous system. Then write regularly. Write regularly. They say spend 15 minutes a day writing. It will improve your nervous system. And then finally, avoid alcoholic drinks or drugs and cigarettes, because they are harmful to your nervous system. So, taking care of our nervous system. 1, have a balanced diet. 2, cope with emotions. 3, write regularly. And 4, avoid alcohol, drugs, and cigarettes. Now, in your activity book, page 2, okay, we have fast reflexes. Now, the aim is to observe reflex control by our nervous system. So, have a classmate position himself in front of you and hold a clear plastic sheet, okay? And you will put the plastic sheet in front of your face like this, and then let the other student or maybe somebody in your house throw a piece of paper and see what will happen to your eyes. Remember, if anybody tries to throw something to your eyes like that, it's going to blink, okay? It will blink. So, when you throw something, what will happen? Will you blink or will you not blink? Okay, so how did your classmates react when the sponge ball hit the clear plastic bag? So when you hit the clear plastic bag like that, what will happen? Did they blink or not? Okay, so you will tell me if he or she blinked her eyes. And then switch the position and tell me if you blinked or not. Okay, so for the question here, blinking is a reflex action controlled by our nervous system. It helps to protect our eyes. It helps to protect our eyes. So, how did you react when the sponge ball hit the plastic sheet? Did you blink? Oh, maybe you blinked. I blinked. Okay, so for part B, this is easy, okay? What you need a ruler, okay? So you can do it with somebody at home. They will hold the ruler. I will show you in a video how to do it. They will hold a ruler, and then you will release the ruler. So the centimeters, so try it. You try it the first try, the second try, and the third try, and see how you can do that, okay? So you try it with any member of your family. It's easy. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, okay? That will be textbook page 3. Then, textbook page 4, you are told, identify the stimulus and response in part A and B. So, when you throw a ball like this, what is the stimulus and what is the stimulus and what is the response? Like I said, Choose the correct answer from here. So, A, what is the stimulus? Is it the ball or the blinking? Remember, blinking is a response. When you throw the ball, that is the stimulus. Stimulus. So here, A, what is the stimulus? In part A here, you are told, let me show you, that is B. A here, okay, part A. When you throw a ball, let's say this is a ball, okay? So the ball is the stimulus, and when I blink my eyes, that is the response, okay. Next, let's say the response. So stimulus is the ball, response is blinking. Okay, part B, what is the stimulus? Let's see, where is part B? Part B, this is part B. So the ruler is the stimulus, and when you catch it, that is the response. So all the answers are on the other page, so you just need to choose the correct answer. Choose the correct answer. So we have A, blinking and a ball. You choose between that, and B, the hand grabbing the ruler is the what? Is the stimulus. The eye seeing the movement of the ruler, that is the response. Okay, and then number 2, let's see. Complete the passage below. The place where your finger catches the ruler indicates how fast you reacted. A smaller centimeter value reflects when you catch a ruler, like somebody drops the ruler and you catch it. If the centimeters is small, it means that you're slow, okay? You're slow. Your brain computed slowly, but when it is the centimeters is high up, then it means that your brain computes the information very faster. So you will choose between slow and fast. Slow and fast. Which one is the correct one? So slow and fast for number 2. Then we have number 3, okay? Number 3 and number 4. And the conclusion. So here, how the reaction time would differ in the following situation. There was time for practice before the experiment. When there is time to practice, it means that you have already trained your brain and it will work very fast. But when there is no time to practice, then it means that that is the time your brain will start to compute the information and it will be slow, okay? But when you train your brain, it will be faster. Then the experiment was conducted in a dimly lit room. Explain your answer. The response will be slower, okay? It will be slower, not as fast as when there is too much light. Now, based on the experiment, how can the speed of our reflexes be affected? How can they be affected? So for that one, for the conclusion, this is what you're going to write. Our reflexes can be affected by training our brain and by our surrounding. Training our brain will help make our reflexes faster. That is what I was explaining. So if you train your brain, you become faster. But when you don't train your brain, then it means that the brain will start to compute the information and it will be slower. And then also it depends with the surrounding. Like when the place is bright, then it can work very fast. But when it's dim, like there is no light, or maybe the light is dim, then it might be slower. Okay, so please try and do your homework and try and finish up the work. Okay, so remember, like I said, for your homework, you read page 6 of your textbook and then write the diseases, the causes and the symptoms, and then try and do the activity with one of your family members. I think you can do it. So you try the paper one and also the ruler activity and see how good that can be. So thank you so much, and I hope to see you again next time. So stay safe and goodbye.